morning. Today is February 26th and we are doing our next update on our Central Florida fruit tree and garden project here in Lakeland, Florida. The last video we did was in November, so we're basically just 3 months past when we did the last one. In the future we're going to start doing these on a monthly basis so we can start having much shorter videos. In this video today that we're actually doing 2 videos, so this is going to be in 2 parts. We're going to do a north end segment and a south end segment showing you all the new things that we've done on the project. And currently we're standing on the north side of the pond, as my wife can show. The sun's coming up. It's about 8:30 in the morning. One of the things you can see is we've taken down the oak trees that used to block all the morning light coming up there, and it's just now coming up above those pines, and it'll be full sunny over here in just a little bit. But before and over here you may notice that we got our garden beds in, which used to be over there next to those pine trees, and we've brought them over here so that we'll get early morning sun. And we've decided to stack them too high to get a deeper depth for the roots. Got our water irrigation system in here. Just got seeds planted in here a few days ago. Nothing sprouted yet. And you can see we have a papaya sitting right here. And this papaya is from our papaya tree. This is the first papaya we have heart taken off the tree, and it looks like it's ripe. And we're gonna cut it open right now and find out if it's any good, and B, is there any papaya fruit fly issues with this thing. And so let's cut this open and see what we have.
Wow.
Okay.
It looks good, actually.
I don't see any fruit fly larvae.
And it's a little pink. Let's
I
see
don't
what
see
it tastes like.
Any fruit fly larvae, So we're actually going to get to taste this. Okay, I'm gonna get my wife a spoonful. Whoops. Actually, I'll take a spoonful.
Here.
And I'll bite it and taste it, and then I'll take the camera and my wife will do likewise. So we're going to find out if this is going to be worthwhile keeping around.
What do you think?
I'm not a fan. No, I say
If you're not a fan, I probably
I'm gonna make you do it too. Here you go. No, none of you guys have got to see my wife yet, but this is my wife. She does the video, and she's now tasting the papaya. I'm gonna tell us.
It doesn't taste like vomit, like the normal, or a lot of people say, and what my opinion's been, and it's pleasant, but it's not, I don't know, there's something about it. Would you call it some kind of astringent type taste to it?
It's dull.
It's dull, yeah. It's not really sweet.
We just pulled the fruit off the tree on Friday. It's oranged up a little bit more since then, but it was pretty orange.
Let me try the oranger. Let's see if the oranger part is better. Yeah. I mean, it's edible. Some people eat it with lime, so maybe it would help. But I would definitely eat it if I were hungry enough.
Right.
But It's not my first fruit of choice.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, at least it didn't have fruit fly in it, and maybe, who knows? We got red ladies growing, and I know those taste good because I've tasted them before. I've tasted them from other trees and stuff before, so just, I guess we just had a learning experience. That's our first one we've tried here, so I'm going to give her back the phone. We'll start going through this.
And hopefully the sun is not going to be too bright. We'll try.
Right here, this is a ruby red grapefruit. We had it planted over there on the south end, but we had some issues with it, and I plugged it and pulled it up and potted it, and it's growing again, so we'll figure out something to do with it. That's just the cover over the solar powered pump.
And then there's the panel.
And right through here, you may remember that this was all very, very thick weeds. And I cleared it out, and I'm now planting the bananas on the bank so they can run their roots right down into the pond. And we composted the area and mulched it and separated the pups from our bananas over here, and have spread them out. Ice cream bananas and dwarf Cavendish, and there's even a Williams so far. But we'll be putting more bananas around the area as we get them. This is the papaya tree that we took the papaya off, and there's other papayas that are getting close. And of course, the bananas, a little beat up from the wind. And then our, supposed to be a pink flesh variety guava. In the last video in November, there were lots of flowers on this thing, but the flowers were dropping. But they began to set fruit, and we've got quite a few fruit that's forming on the tree, probably 30, maybe 40 fruit throughout the tree. And just for a reminder, this, like I said, this is the 1 year point of our project, but we only have one fruit tree on the property that has been here 1 year or more. None of these trees have been here yet in the ground 1 year. We started planting at the end of March, early April last year, so we're not quite at the 1 year point as far as any of these trees being in the ground. This guava tree was a 3-gallon tree that was planted last mid-April, and it has really grown and done well. So right here, the brown turkey figs are still in dormancy, haven't woke up yet. Meyer lemon. The Meyer lemon I pruned because most of the main growth was coming out this way, and I didn't want the tree growing that way. I want it growing up, and so I pruned it, and we're going to basically just reform this tree because I didn't like it. And the Sio persimmon, or Sago persimmon, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, still in dormancy. And here's the pineapple orange, which is putting out new growth everywhere. There's, I mean, there are lots and lots and lots of little branches and stuff forming everywhere on this tree. And Tropic Beauty Peach is coming out of dormancy. See some flowers, some leaves coming out.
Trying to show you some flowers here. There we go.
The navel orange had a winter growth back in January, and pretty much just hardening off that growth. And It's done well.
It's a pretty little tree.
And dragon fruit cactus, the red flesh and white flesh ones, took a little bit of cold damage, and I did some pruning back on some of it.
Show some of that.
You might not be able to see it with the water. This wasn't bad, but some of it was a little worse, and I pruned it back and stuff, but it's coming back. And yeah, the coldest temperature we got here this year was one morning, briefly 33.4, but it's been a very, very warm winter with many 70s and high 70s and low 80s here. So now we're going to walk over here to the new section on the north end. There's macadamia nut that was just planted. This was planted about a week and a half ago. That's the macadamia nut. Then right here is an Alano sapodilla, and it likewise was planted a week and a half ago. And we're leaving this tree stump here as a trellis for condor dragon fruit, which is supposed to be a purple flesh dragon fruit cactus.
Oh, it's coming out.
Fuyu persimmon that we just planted.
Yay!
This is, yep, waking up. This is a green sapote. Just planted this a week and a half ago. It's supposed to be similar to Mame sapote, just a smaller, perhaps a smaller version of it, from what I've heard. This is a Barbados cherry. This was also planted just a week and a half ago. This is a curry star fruit. This was the one that was planted on the south end of the pond in the November video that wasn't doing so good above this height. And what I ended up finding was the tree originally had a canker on it, and it went all the way around the trunk, and everything above it was doing bad. So I had to prune it right there, and I saved this branch. And I'm forming this branch up as the new tree, and I had pulled the tree and repotted it, and it started doing well, so we decided to go ahead and keep it and put it here, and we replaced it with, but before that we replaced it with another curry star fruit. So we have two curry star fruits here, because we didn't know if this one was going to make it or not, but it appears that it's going to. Now we have a Bradenton loquat, which was just planted a week and a half ago.
Starting to break out again?
Yeah, it's starting to grow for here. I'm interested in finding an Avery loquat or a Novak, something along those lines, if anybody is watching this video and has connections to that. It seems to be very difficult to get. Up here we have,
oh wow,
there's 3 of them coming up, but these are jackfruit. We put seeds in. We put 5 seeds in over here on February 3rd, and we saw this one come up first, and then these 2 have come up within the last couple days, but all of these have come up within the last anywhere from 2 to 5 days, these jackfruit seedlings. So we're only going to keep one of them, but we planted multiple just to make sure we'd get at least one of them to work out. And then there's a couple of mango seedlings over there. Those grew up in the compost pile, and I just separated them and threw them over there last year. I'm not really planning on doing anything with them, but we'll see what happens with them. And which time is it?
It's about 15.
Okay. Let's go over here. This is the remnant of our garden. You can see that our garden beds used to be right here. And we decided to move them because of these trees. And we left a couple of kale plants here. But this is all that's left of the area. We don't know what we're going to do with this area yet, but we got to build it up. Interesting. We got some tomato plants growing.
Oh.
Must have been some seeds that sprouted. It's been a few. It's been a few.
That's funny. I wonder if it's when I don't know, pulled the pear tomatoes. Maybe, I don't know. Because there's one right by your foot too.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Growing up right here.
See if
Yeah, they're probably the pear.
we can give those away or something.
We got some more volunteer tomato plants coming up.
But yeah, these are some really, really pretty kale. Just really pretty. And they transplant really well. So even though they're this mature, they transplant and do just fine. So.
Yeah, we gave a couple of them to our brother-in-law, and he just took them over to his house, stuck them in the ground, and then he did fine. But we're going to go ahead and end this video right here, and go on down to the south end of the pond and start a new video, which you'll be able to see as soon as you're done with this one. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.